This is True Free Man 317, 2003 Chevy Impala. Getting ready to do a radiator on it. This is like late 90s to mid 2000s, and even some additional vehicles, some GMs. But I'm going to try to make this simple and sweet. I wasn't going to do a video, but hell, why not? You got 2 1/2-inch bolts here. I already took one out. You got 2 1/2-inch bolts here. You need to take those 2 out. You got one back here you need to loosen. You got one over here you need to loosen. You don't need to take it out, just enough to move it over. Because what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to take the battery out. That's the best way to do it. Take this battery out. You're going to have to use 1/2-inch to take these 2 bolts out. These 2 bolts out. There's 2 down here, and there's 2 down here. Those all are 1/2-inch. Okay? These are to the upper engine mounts. Motor mounts, as they call them. Then you have a 15-inch here and a 15-inch there. You use a 15-inch socket with a 15-inch wrench. You get those up out of there, you'll be able to take both these motor mounts out. You cannot get this radiator out if you don't do so. You're then going to have to take the upper hose loose, but what you want to do, there's a drain plug down here, right down here in the corner on the driver's side. There's a drain plug. You want to drain the water or antifreeze out. If it's water in it, you can drain it out on the ground. If it's antifreeze in it, then you need to put it, drain it into a bucket, because if dogs get to that antifreeze, it actually can kill them. So you want to drain the fluids out of it. You want to take the support bracket 1/2-inch bolts out here, 1/2-inch bolts out here. One back there you just loosen. One back there you just loosen, and you'll be able to just push these off to the side. You want to take your battery out. Take these bolts out. These bolts, there's 2 here, there's 2 here, there's 2 here, and there's 2 there. All those are 1/2-inch. These are 1/2-inch. These are 1/2-inch. That one's 1/2-inch, and that one's 1/2-inch. Then these is 15, have a 15-inch wrench, 15-inch socket, 15-inch wrench, 15-inch socket. Take that off. You'll be able to move these out your way. You get this battery out of here, and then we'll work on the fans. So what I'm getting ready to do, I'm getting ready to get this drained, and then I'm going to go ahead while it's being drained. I'm going to take these out, loosen that one back there, right here. Just loosen it enough to where once you take these 2 out, you can move it out the way. Do the same thing on this side. I'm going to take the battery out. I'm going to take the bolts out of here, which is 1/2-inch. These 2, and these 2. Then I'm going to use, which is all 1/2-inch. And then 15s here. 15-inch wrench, 15-inch socket. I'll take both of those out, get those out my way. Get the battery out my way. Get the support brackets out my way. And then I'll come back at you with the next instructions. But remember to drain this radiator before you start taking hoses off. So let me get this motor mount off. Let me get this bracket, that bracket loose and off to the side, out the way. Let me get this battery out, and I'll be back, and then we'll do the drain. Take the upper radiator hose off, loosen the lower radiator hose, take it off, and then we'll get to the radiator fans, get that out the way. Then we'll get the transmission cooler lines and shit out the disconnected, and a couple more things, and then we'll be able to take this radiator out and put the other one in. So let me get that done real quick. Again, this is 2003 Chevy Impala, but this works on many other vehicles, GM to be specific. And we'll get back with you. Alright, True Free Man 317. Got the supports out off to the side. As you can see, got the motor mounts out. As you can see, got the battery out. Alright. Now what you're going to do, you're going to take a flathead screwdriver, and you're going to take your coolant fan plugs off. There's one here, and there's one right here. Usually you can take that with your hand, And there's clips, as you can see. There's clips. There's one there, and then there's two here. One here and one here. You want to take those clips off and get those out the way. Alright. There's another clip over here holding the wire on. But you actually can take a screwdriver and pry this apart. It's just a clamp pretty much. And then you have your transmission cooler lines. There's one here. And there's one down here at the bottom. And then your radiator hose. Alright. I prefer you just don't take the lower radiator hose from here. Take it apart from here and get it out your way. But first you got to drain the coolant from the radiator. And you can't see it, but it's down here in the lower part of the radiator. This little screw where you drain the fluids out. As you can see, we got the top radiator hose off. Over to the side, we're going to bring it out with the old radiator. And what we're going to do, I think those may be 18s or something. I'll recap once I get those off. But let me go ahead and get the coolant fan out. And you also have a 10 millimeter here. I think it's one down here if I'm not mistaken. Or actually, it may just be one here and one over here. Grab my screwdriver. Right there. Move this shit out my way. Excuse me. Right here. There's another 10 millimeter bolt there. That's what actually holds the fan to the radiator. So we're going to go ahead and get this radiator fan out of here. And then once we get that out, then we'll go ahead and move on to getting the coolant. I mean the transmission fluid lines disconnected. Well, we get the fluid drained. Then we're going to take the fan away from the radiator, or the fans, because it's two. And then after that, we're going to get the transmission cooler lines disconnected and the lower radiator hose, which you're going to have to do from the bottom. That's after the fluid is drained. And then we'll... Alrighty, I'm back. Camera died. But what we got two retainers right here, which is also a 10 millimeter. Okay. You got to take this one here, and there's one here, and this is the radiator. This is the fan that bolts to the radiator. And then the retainers bolt on it and bolts to the core support so that the radiator doesn't move. I already took one off. I'm doing this with one hand, so bear with me. And somebody was just shooting. Hopefully didn't nobody just get killed, because I mean, it is what it is. I heard the police headed to the scene. But you screw that off. Alright. We got one on each side. See what I mean? And they just rest down in there and they bolt to the support. So as you can see, we got that out. Got the other one already out. We got one of the transmission cooler lines out. There's another one down there at the bottom below the lower radiator hose. So I'm going to take that one off first. And then I'm going to take a screwdriver and get this lower radiator hose off. Already drained the fluid out of here. And then, as you can see, I have the radiator fan plugs, which was bolted to here. Got them up and out the way. So all I have to do now, see, it's ready to come out, with the exception of this lower radiator hose and the lower transmission cooler lines. So let me get that out the way, and I'll be right back.